Throughout my time in the tech industry, I have heard many, many misconceptions about the dangers of negotiating or why you shouldn't negotiate. And for the most part, this is all fake news. There's so much fake news. And I thought it's worth spending a few minutes talking about three of the common lies I've heard about negotiation and why they're not true. So, myth number one is your offer will get rescinded if you negotiate. This is simply not true. Companies will never rescind your offer for simply negotiating if you're doing it in good faith and you're not lying about it. Think about it from the company's point of view. By the time you've gotten the offer, the company has invested many hours of time and a lot of money to get you to that point. And you are one of the few top 1%, top 5%, top 10% of people who actually made it through their hiring pipeline. It's clear they want you, and they've invested thousands of dollars of time and money into you. And so at that point, once they've given you the confirmation that they actually do want to give you an offer, it would be irrational for them to retract an offer simply because you're curious about what components of the compensation could be adjusted to better meet your needs. So please don't let this fear of an offer getting rescinded hold you back. It almost never happens. Okay, myth number two is that negotiation makes you look cheap. Not only is this not true, I would actually argue the opposite is true, which is that negotiation, if done well, will make you appear like a high value candidate. Think about the extreme scenario. If you are coming in at the C-suite as like the CEO, CTO, an executive in a large company, my argument would be that if you don't negotiate, something has gone wrong. At that level, it's assumed that you are driving so much unique value for the company that you need to have a really clear understanding of what that value is and how it will flow back to you. So things like headcount or stock options, salary, bonus, all that stuff will be a discussion, a back and forth between the candidate and the company. In the same way, whether you're an entry-level, mid-level, senior engineer, or whatever job function in a tech company, the company has made a decision that you will provide more value to them than they are paying you. And it is incumbent upon you to understand what is that value and how can you make sure that you're communicating what you care about in all the different components of compensation. The other part of it too is that this lie or myth is about negotiation makes you look cheap. And I'm wondering, who are you concerned about looking cheap for? So obviously your recruiter or the hiring manager might know that you're trying to ask for more money, but it's not like when you join the company, your teammates or the people on adjacent teams, they likely will have no idea that you negotiated or you drove a hard bargain. And even if they do have somehow that word gets out that you negotiated, it's not a bad look. If you do it in a high integrity way, you're not going to be tainted. No one will judge you negatively for negotiating. So this is certainly not true. Okay, myth number three is that someone will get less if you get more. And this is a lie based on the fact that people think that, okay, if I ask for $10,000 more, then that means that the recruiter will earn $10,000 less this year. Or maybe my manager or someone on the team, I am robbing them. I am taking away money from them. And this is simply not how the tech industry works. The whole tech industry is effectively built on the premise that the pie is growing. Software is eating the world. There's more and more and more economic value being created through technology. And because the pie is growing, there is more than enough to partition out and give to everyone, even if you ask for a little bit more. And the other part of it too is that the fact of the matter is that if you're working in a big tech company, your compensation is such an insignificant part of the grand scheme of how much they're making or how much they plan to make. So I pulled some numbers here. Apple made $300 billion in revenue last year. Meta, $100 billion. Pinterest, which is significantly smaller, still made $3 billion. And even if you tell me, hey, I'm working at a startup, we have literally no revenue. The whole point of venture capital, the whole point of technology in some sense, is leverage. So the idea that the company now might be losing a ton of money, but if things work out, then the company should be making tons of money, have tons of users, and they should get there rapidly through technology. And so when the whole idea of the company is based off of a lot of future growth, you should feel confident in the whole pie is growing, so companies should be able to give you more, and you're not taking anything away from anyone else, because everyone will win if the company succeeds. So please don't think that because you're asking for more, somehow you're hurting other people. That's not how compensation works. So I hope it's clear now. Should you negotiate? The answer is yes. There's so much fake news about what people think will happen with negotiation and what actually happens. So please negotiate, and you're going to be much better off for it.